Check one, two. Is the mic working? I just had it crash on me. The most bullish setup in Bitcoin and crypto history might have just happened with a over $1.4 billion hack on ByBit. Does this suggest actually the bulls are in charge? Because we've got some incredible signals we're going to be getting into right now. So everybody, hold on to your shorts because we're going to be diving into this right now. So everybody, let's get into it. I hope you're all feeling good. Hope you're looking good. Your portfolios might be feeling a little red, but we're starting to see the signs that that green life, those green candles, the pumpage is here. So everybody, let's get into it. Let's talk about what we got to do because the bullish setup is here. Crypto pump is signaled. Let's talk about it. All right, so are we live? Because we had some issue that my eCam crashed right when we went live. So hopefully this is all working. Let me just double check this real quick. Okay, we are live. Good to go. Well, let's talk about what's going on because we had some major news this morning. Major news this morning, and we see some redness in the charts right now. We see some redness across here. We're seeing a bit of the bounce coming back in after that news. Let's actually go to the 15-minute chart. Look at this breakdown we saw in the chart. This is Bitcoin. We also see it on Ethereum. We also see it, I mean, you see it across the board really. And what is this from? This is, I mean, this is max opportunity if you ask me. Now, why is that? Because when we come over here and we see that ByBit, over $1.4 billion in ETH was hacked out of their accounts. And don't worry, we're not going to belabor this story because everybody's covering it. But this is why we got that big sell off. And then it turns out not only did it get hacked, but Ben Zhao says they are essentially solvent. There's not going to be any issue. But imagine $1.5 billion on this market. And all we saw was a bit of a dip right here, you know, basically coming down to that whole wick, about a 2% dip. Bounced in the $97,000 region on Bitcoin and then has come right back up. Is this a sign that we may be breaking a bit further down? I think this story is still going to develop throughout the day and over this weekend. So let's pay attention to this. If this gives us another or deeper buying opportunity, I know I'm taking it. I don't know about you, but the fact that the market was able to absorb this so quickly is absolutely more bullish than we can imagine. And then we consider, okay, $1.46 billion. And then what do we see right here from Ben Zhao himself? It says ByBit's founder confirms the exchange is solvent and will cover the $1.46 billion loss 1-to-1. So I expect that there's going to be some pretty interesting data today on ByBit, with some people potentially protecting their funds, moving off of ByBit onto other, you know, either into cold storage or into other exchanges. But also, what does this mean? Are they potentially going to go in and, buy $1 billion-ish worth of Ethereum? Because that could be another catalyst. But the fact that the market was able to absorb this is incredible. So let's understand what's going on here. And the fact that, ByBit is among the largest exchanges. We have Binance and ByBit and, Coinbase and Kraken. But ByBit is a powerhouse in the, internationally. And so the fact that this it didn't have a bigger impact on the market speaks volumes as to where we are likely going from here. As it stands right now, remember, even breaking out of this, even if this did get sent all the way back down here into the mid 95s, potentially a little lower, 94.7, this would all just be in context of a retest of this zone. So if we're able to hold this, this just ends up being a sort of blip on the radar, and this can continue up from here. This is signaling so much higher is coming. So when we understand that, let's get into the stories of the day, because first off, let's look at the liquidity in the market. Liquidity in the market is showing, even if you were not aware of the ByBit hack, this is just coming up, tapping this liquidity up here, coming, a bit flat and then tapping it again, pushes up. We have all this liquidity now that has been piled up below us. So whether or not we got the hack, the chart makes sense regardless of the hack. So was the hack responsible for this move to the downside to flush out some of this liquidity, or are we going to get a little bit deeper? Regardless, the chart is telling us the story and it's playing out as the chart was suggesting. Even right here, this is where the hack happened. Notice what's happening in this zone. We had a bullish impulse all the way up into the zone, a little pullback, basically double top here. Now we have the lower low followed by the lower high and then the breakdown. The chart signals it. Regardless of if you were paying attention to the news, the chart told the story. Now, coming on, we have some really bullish news coming across the market that we're going to get through, and then we're going to dive in to some of the charts. Let me just make sure I got to check out. Okay, I just want to make sure everything's working because the eCam crash. I'm going to pause this so this doesn't distract me. The eCam crashed when let's do a better face than that. There we go. Look like I'm. Ecamm crashed when I went live. So okay, we got people in the room. We got people. Let's just make sure over here on X because I had to restart this twice. Okay, we got it all working now. SEC has agreed to dismiss its enforcement case against Coinbase, which included not only Solana, but it was Solana, Near, Filecoin, Chiliz, ICP. There was 13 coins all listed that were potential securities. So this has bigger impacts beyond just SEC's target on Coinbase, but also the broader impact of what how this next phase, this next 4 years is going to go and beyond as coins gets sort of stipulated where they fall in the regulatory framework. So this is so bullish, and it's just a further signal of this new era that we've entered with this new administration, with the new SEC chair that should be confirmed here in the matter of a few weeks. Then, of course, the Treasury Secretary and the Secretary of Commerce. Across the board, we have an entirely new, more empowering administration that will support the growth of this industry. So this is further signaling that it's not just we're hoping that this is a new administration with new thoughts. This truly is. We're starting to see it play out in some of the decisions that are being made or changed from the last administration. Then we see right here, let's pay attention to this, everybody. This is from our boy, Kevin Svensson. Let me go ahead and mute this. Just pay attention to what this shows because I was sharing this chart a few days ago, but let's look at this. I say we may be getting fireworks soon in Bitcoin and crypto market. And the caveat is, even if the breakout doesn't happen right now, this weekend, or in the next couple days, it just means that we have more time to stack. And I'm ready to ride, and I'm sure you are. And let's look at exactly what this is. So you can see the RSI, there's very high points. Boom, as this breaks down, once this clears this zone, got a 95% pump in the market. Look at this. Breaks down. Once it clears that target, 80% pump. Same thing here, 73% pump. Same thing here. Once we broke, 100% pump. And then where are we at right now? Let's take a look at it because we are on the cusp of greatness as we speak, as the RSI is attempting that breakout. And again, whether or not we get the move in the coming days or even, into the end of this month or early next month, the setup is here for that next leg up. I know I can get behind that. I'm sure all of you are excited about that as well. And then we continue on and we see this. If you look at the markets and you look at the global money supply and you look at this relative to Trump's last presidency, this is exactly what happened. The M2 money supply, August 2016 to January 2018, and you see this sort of breakdown in the basically liquidity coming out of the market, kind of double bottoms here, and then starts pushing up. The red line is where we're at today. This is playing out exactly. So are we about to see the fuel for that upside to start to really kick into gear? Excuse me. Because this would be overwhelmingly bullish for risk assets in the market. Tech stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins. And if this does play out as such, even if we get some sideways action here, this this is played out so spot on. It's not even funny. So this would be so overwhelmingly bullish if we were to get that. The setup is here. The question is, how patient can we be in order to ride this dragon to the top? And then we see right here, Binance. Remember last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did a stream on the potential Binance manipulation going on. And now we see other, people are commenting on this as well. Binance repeats market manipulation tactics using $800 million in USDT to buy back crashed assets after they, I don't want to say pushed, but sold off into the market that drove it down. But now they are buying back into this. So is the decision now to push the markets up? Well, we're going to be watching this day in and day out. And it does seem like we're brewing into the perfect storm for upside price action. I just got to come back over here and check on everybody. Okay, we're all good. Just want to make sure. Yeah, we're still good. Cool. Now, where are we at? In addition to this, everybody peak frustration, sentiment, and flooding of Ethereum, and we're seeing whales continue to stack Ethereum as things. I mean, even with this bit of a sell-off, let's go to the ETH chart. Yeah, ETH chart right here, a pretty big sell-off from this point right here. I mean, that is a 5%, almost 5.5% sell-off from up here at 28.31 all the way down here to 26.75. In reality, this feels more like a bit of a bear trap. When you zoom out, you can't even see this. You see sort of the wicks up and down, but this roundingness of the price action right in here is starting to suggest, even if we went sideways a little longer, we're watching for this zone right here, which is basically that $3,000, $3,100 zone before we can start to really get those next legs to the upside and start seeing the altcoins follow that as well. But when we see big players, the whales, are stacking in while retail is nowhere to be found, except for all of you here on BitLab Academy, those of you that watch Discover Crypto Blockchain Basement, the data is suggesting the big money players are getting themselves positioned before that next move up. And then we look at this. Solana user activity drops nearly 40% as meme coin rug pulls erode trust, driving capital outflow to Ethereum and Arbitrum. So now this may be from a lot of the meme stuff going on, but there's also been some pretty huge growth in what we're seeing on Sonic. Uh, Avalanche is kind of like the ninja stealth L1 out there that for whatever reason isn't getting a lot of attention right now, but I expect Avalanche to do very well this cycle. And this is how you can see how much Solana interest was happening here, and then it kind of just gets dissected between Arbitrum, Ethereum, BNB, Base, Sonic, and Solana. You see how much smaller this is here. This sort of capital rotation is starting to happen a bit across these other chains. So this is not good or bad. It's just data that shows you not everything is the sort of knighted, chosen, this is the asset of all interest. No, this capital will rotate between these various chains. And even Base is growing a bit as well here. BNB chain looking about the same, but you had a little bit of that speculative push last week and the week before from CZ pushing the whole meme launch with this dog on there. But we are setting up, guys. We're setting up, and then we look at ONDO. Well, a lot of people's favorite coin these days because of the path forward. The tokenized U.S. Treasuries market has reached $3.9 billion. That reflects a over 6% increase in just the past week, a 6% increase in just the past week. And remember, ONDO is part of the securitized BITL fund that BlackRock is very much a part of. And ONDO, they just had their summit. Was it 2 weeks ago, February 7th, where they are basically building into this Wall Street 2.0, real world asset tokenization, tokenizing stocks, bonds, US Treasuries, giving global access while also bringing all these assets on chain. This represents trillions of dollars that will be moving in traded and being available on ONDO Finance. And remember, ONDO is still very, very new. If we come over to ONDO and we look at ONDO, just remember, let's go to the weekly chart. Boom. It's still very new. Look at this back here, January 2024. So we're just over a year in. And people are they're wondering, why isn't this not moving? Why is this not moving right now? It is massive growth, bit of a correction, massive growth, bit of a correction as the entire market has been correcting. So it's not why is ONDO pulling back? Look at the greater market. I mean, geez, come over here to the others chart and look at this. This is everything outside of the top 10. So is it ONDO pulling back or whoever? I don't know if they're in the room right now, but I really hope they are. I think his name was Sold 100K, talking shit last time on stream. Those calls you made. Well, jackass, how about you look at the chart and realize that the entire market pulling back into the zone. And we just saw one of those things he was, shit talking me about. TAO just got acknowledged that they're going to be listed they're on that roadmap to be listed. To be listed on Coinbase. And they also just deployed, I have some news on this in a second, just deployed their subnets and seeing huge amounts of volumes in DeFi, an opportunity that's happening in the TAO market. But we're seeing this across the board, whether it's ONDO, whether it's Link, whether it's BitTensor, whether it's Cardano, it doesn't matter. Don't say, why is this coin pulling back? Realize that the context of this market has been risk off. What we're trying to do here is identify the shifting winds in the data so we can catch this when this goes back risk on, not after this is pumped all the way back up here. Okay, now I'm going to get back in. No, we're not going to be jackasses. We're not going to be retail. We're going to look for data to catch this as this move starts to move back up, to basically capitalize on the max gains available. Now, coming back over to Ondo, just realize Ondo has been at the forefront of the recent growth. 56% increase. 56. This is the data I'm talking about. A 56% increase in total value locked over 30 days. Now, if it had a 56% increase in total value locked, how does that represented in the price action? Let's see. Oh, it's not represented yet. AKA, you're getting a data signal that a huge amount of liquidity and focus is going into an asset that's not yet reflected in the price. Rather than buy this because it's pumping, I look at other data metrics that are suggesting liquidity, interest, and mind share is going to this asset before that pump happens. This is why we've been stacking in here. We stacked over here. We've been stacking along the way, and I'm going to continue to stack, especially as this price is still not reflective of what we're seeing on the growth of the use and mind share and liquidity that is flowing into this. So this is incredible. Uh, this is just massive. $254 million increase in total value locked over the last 30 days. I mean, incredible. And then we see right here, you're trying to figure out where there might be some good focused picks and things to come across the thousands and tens of thousands of altcoins out there. Well, RWA is one of those sectors that everybody's paying attention to. And we see right here from Lunar Crush, real world assets is one of the top performing sectors on the day, with social engagements across social posts also showing relative strength. So the top RWA coins, basically where the interest is by social engagement, Chainlink, number one. Ondo, number two. What do you know? My top two altcoins that I have the largest amounts of in my alt portfolio. Then we got HBAR, Avalanche, Injective, which has seen huge growth in the amount of volume and utility of what's been happening on that. VeChain, it's almost like the silent sleeper that's always there, persistent. So much mind share. Algorand, ICP, Eliza, or Elysia, I don't even know how to say that. Quant, Plume, just rocketing up there in the top, now top number 11. I'd never heard of crypto autos. But the point here is we're seeing where the mind share is in this sector. Now, you could go and get something way down here. Maybe there's something going to happen, but I like to see where is the interest. This top 10, maybe, Plume is much newer, so this could still be in there as well. But this is giving you a bit of a roadmap of how you can make sure you're best aligned. And then we see further bullish fundamental growth for the space. NASDAQ proposes new rule to allow trading and listing of digital assets, digital asset-based investment interests. So what does this mean? This is the Wall Street acceptance of giving access to different funds to launch investment products, investment vehicles that include and incorporate or focus on digital assets. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, XRP, Solana, so on and so forth. So it's not only just going to be ETFs, but there's going to be other types of investment flows that become available as well, just broadening the access for these assets. So that's what we can get behind right now. I'm so bullish on everything. Who we got? We got Bill Brower, Veteran Crypto, Ugin Sky, Megan, how you doing? Green Day Profits, Nick Dunn. The fam is in the jam right now. I'm loving it. Okay, we got people, we got the fam here. So let's go ahead and look at what we're looking at here. On the 3-day chart, notice something. Price action has been rounding out, just like this. We got the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, starting to show the swing back up, about to cross back towards the zero line. The stochastic RSI right here, that's come down and starting to round back out. Looks like it's, trying to make that next swing to the upside. Positive money flow. The momentum wave starting to, I mean, it's very slight, but you can see this starting to curve. If this continues to curve and we get that swing in momentum, as well as, look at this, VWAP on the daily tried to fake us out to the downside, way back up. I think that the intention here in the market is up. Now, it doesn't mean up only. We see stochastics kind of rounding out on the daily, RSI kind of rounding out. With all that shakeup we just saw this morning from ByBit, I do think we do need to be a little bit patient over this weekend. But I would expect by, the end of next week and especially into March, I think more likely than not, we're going to be pushing back up and attempting back into these zones. And I want you to notice something. Look at how fast. See how sideways this is right here? Sideways, 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 sideways. And then we get this higher low, W formation. And then immediately, I mean, on this, once the move is decided, look at that. That's a $3,000 candle right there on the daily. And then within let's go right here. Hold on. Within 7 days, that's a $7,000 move in 7 days. So when this market decides to make the move, it can be quick. Same thing right here. The breakout up comes back, retests this zone that we've had marked out. See this zone that we've marked out right in through here. From this point right in here, boom. Now over, let's see, 2 weeks, $32,000 in 2 weeks. So when this market does move, unfortunately, many of you are going to be left behind because you're either not paying attention, you're on the sidelines, you're de-risking. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But this is why in this zone right here, I'm not really trading. I'm looking for opportunities when the markets do dip, to stack in, having a time horizon beyond beyond the next week, beyond the next few months, because I do think things are going to start to get pretty wild pretty quickly. And then we come back over here and we look at Ethereum, and Ethereum, look at this, beautiful, all the way back here, June 2022, support, 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 kind of support-ish, kind of bounced above it, but then look at the wick down below. And then when we zoom in on this, that's on the weekly. Let's go down to the 8-hour. I want to delete some of this stuff. Hold on one second. There we go. We have the roundingness here, beautiful roundingness, showing the bears kind of lost their strength in the zone. If this is able to hold, especially above this order block right here, the 26 to 2640 zone, if this is able to hold above this, maybe one more tap into this, that we're going to be watching that target that we talked about earlier, that $3,000 to $3,100 zone. And I do think, remember, falling channel, we really want to see when this gets over here, that next move to really kick off the excitement in the altcoins. Cardano falling in this channel, really attempting this breakout right here. We do have this kind of looks like a shoulder, kind of looks like a head. If we do get another bit of a move right here, when you understand that, then you realize, oh, this very well could just be forming an inverse head and shoulder, signaling that next move to the upside. If this holds just like it is, fine. You don't have to have the inverse head and shoulder. If this holds just like it is and we start to push up, we really want to clear the 83 cent mark right here, which is the top of the order block that we just pushed into twice. We really want to clear this, and then we're looking at attacking the 88 cent mark, which is basically all of these lows and all this chop. And then the next leg up is going to be up here, basically re-attacking that dollar zone. I do think that we are preparing for that next move to the upside. XRP just never stopping in the news with, further news regarding what's going on with, the SEC case will likely be another jolt in this when they sort of resolve potentially fully dismissing everything in the coming weeks. As the SEC is sort of softening a lot of their enforcement actions that were on schedule or being attempted that have different court dates. But this, as it stands right now, this is just a little bit of a sideways consolidation, which is needed because we had this massive move. So even if this were to sell off and come back down into the zone, the $1.88 mark, it's not out of context. It's just where we have this massive wick. The bulls did eat this up. If this does come down in here, I'd be watching for an opportunity down here in the $1.50 to $1.80 mark. But what we'd all like to see is this hold up in the zone, start working its way back up here to the 317 to 339 range, this order block that's directly above us. And then we could possibly see that next leg up. Aerodrome, guys, what do we see on Aerodrome? We see a massive, not massive, 6 hour chart, falling wedge. It's coming to the end of it. We're starting to get the rounding bottom here, meaning see how this is low. It's a very sharp angle of attack down, and this is now getting softer. Now this is getting softer. What am I talking about? Sharp angle of attack, less angle of attack, much less. That's a rounding bottom coming into a bullish breakout target. Now, if we do get the fake out, let's be prepared for it. But this is also looking like, this is looking like it. This is the zone. Once we can clear this 90 cent to 93 cent mark, then I think we can start working our way up, up and away. That's why we also were stacking into Aerodrome. Solana, pretty big sell-off that we saw all the way up here from 290, 295, all the way down here. But is it over for Solana, or is it just retesting this resistance line from here to here to here? You see? And it did lose that, so it's over for Solana, right? No. There's just a lot of FUD in the market, everything going on with the meme coins. And, not only meme coins, as we pointed out earlier, there's other developments. People made a lot of money on Solana. Big players made a lot of money. It's like, okay, let's take some of these profits, rotate them into other things that now look like they're going to be moving. Like as we talked about with Arbitrum and different things in the base network and what's going on with ONDO and Chainlink and Sonic. Sonic's taking a bit of the spotlight right now. And where does that money coming from? Some of it is rotation of capital. So is this the end for Solana? No, I think this is just a bit of a reset coming right into where the golden pocket. If this can hold this zone, chop in here for a second, then we're going to be looking for that next leg up to, attack 205 and then back up here to 259 and beyond. If this does break down from here, I'd be watching for a great buying opportunity down here in the 122 to 131 sort of zone. Right in here, we already have that sort of box lined up that we've had for some time. And remember, when this was pushing up, we drew this box showing for a potential retest of this target, and this came right down into it. So this would be a great opportunity if Solana does come down in here. However, I think it's more likely this will hold, and then we'll start to get that resolution to the upside. Litecoin, we haven't looked at Litecoin in a minute. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, broke out of this zone. Look at this, fake out down, push up, fake out back to the upside, wash people out. Now it's kind of resolved. It looks like it's cleared the liquidity. So let's pay attention on those who are interested in Litecoin. And remember, Litecoin is very much back in the sort of zeitgeist, the mind share of people, because this James Seifert, one of the Bloomberg ETF guys, which we've had on this channel, suggests him and Eric Baltunos, who have been calling all the ETF moves for crypto. They have Litecoin as the highest probability for the next ETF that actually gets approved and launched. So that would represent, good amount of capital interest coming back into Litecoin. And this, look, nice move up. Retest back down. We're kind of retesting this zone here. Let's kind of be patient on this. But if I had to guess, this also will be up here attacking this at 183 as the next target, and then coming up here into that 270 mark, which this has just not been in the mind share of the general crypto populace as of late. And now, in the most, in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, this is even before that, I guess November, boom, this is where we're starting to get a lot of interest here. So there, good capital focus is going on. BitTensor TAO, which everybody said, not everybody, sorry, sold 100K, the guy, shit talking last week. And then what do we get? Oh, it was actually not last week, it was 2 days ago. What do we get? Let's go to the daily chart. This is where he was talking mess, and then what do we see? Boom, price action and now we have this beautiful inverted head and shoulders, which is targeting, back up into this region, $604. And they've got some pretty big news. In fact, I don't know what happened to it. Let me go right here. TAO subnets. Let's see. Here we go. So this, the DTAO subnets are one of the things that launched. Here we go. The TAO ecosystem has been heating up since the launch of subnet tokens. There's a learning curve to get involved, blah, blah, blah. But there's just been a lot of things going on here. Interest coming back in, but then also, I don't know if I shared this with you guys the other day. BitTensor TAO is now live on Coinbase and and in the Coinbase iOS and Android apps. Coinbase customers can log in, buy, sell, convert, send these. So this is getting things more access, more capital flow. This is now something, especially as some of the AI FUD from DeepSeek has died down. I do think it might be getting time to start layering back in to some select AI picks in the market. So I will likely be doing that here very, very, very shortly. I just need to, wait for that next fiat mining capital flow to come in to do so. Let's go ahead and zoom down here. CB listing pump. That's right. Quarter crawler. How you doing? Granny's garden. We got the fam here. And Ninja Fourth. How you doing, my friend? But I think that's all I got today, guys. I love you. I'll be back in office in studio Monday, and we discover crypto blockchain basement. BitLab Academy. We got a pretty big announcement and big integration we're doing that's going to make it so much better for all of us and every one of you that is in the BitLab community. And I will say it's probably worth diving in and getting set on where's it at? I got to find it, taking advantage of that, because if you are involved there on that link, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal, that's going to lock you into a pretty substantial and much better pricing for something that we're doing as basically everybody as a group. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to send you over to Blockchain Basement now. Let's go show some love. Let's go chat there in the pre-show before they go live. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got today. Okay, it's all set up there. And with that being said, I love you guys. Adios, muchachos. Did I miss any super chats or anything? No, I did not. Okay, I just want to make sure because I don't have my multiple screens. But I'm so excited for what's to come. We're doing this together, everybody. I love you. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos. How do I end it? I don't know. Adios.